Have you ever walked into one of those massive sports bars? The kind with like 80 different screens showing 20 different games and just wondered how they do it.
Right, without it turning into total chaos, I mean.
Exactly. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking a pretty massive, highly detailed product catalog from HDTV Supply today.
Yeah, and to do that, we're using one very specific piece of hardware as our lens, to understand this whole hidden world of extreme video infrastructure.
Right, because when you're looking at a wall of perfectly synchronized screens, you're actually looking at the output of a heavy-duty data routing system.
It is an entire hidden architecture that most people really never think about.
So let's unpack this. Our hero product for this deep dive is actually just a single cord. It's the DVIGear DVI-2540-AOC HDMI cable.
Which I know sounds like alphabet soup.
It really does. But then you look at the specs. This is an active optical cable, and it's 40 meters long. That is over 131 feet.
It's just a staggering length to push a high-definition video signal.
Right, to put that in perspective for you, imagine dangling an HDMI cable out the window of a 13-story building, like just to plug it into a TV down on the sidewalk.
Which is wild, because normally trying to push high-def video that far would just leave you with a scrambled mess on the screen.
Yeah, standard copper HDMI cables max out pretty quickly, right? Usually around, what, 15 to 50 feet?
Exactly, before the data just starts degrading. The ones and zeros literally lose their punch due to voltage drops and electromagnetic interference.
Ah, okay, so that is where the active optical part comes in.
Yes. An active optical cable, or an AOC, solves this whole problem by converting the electrical video signal into light pulses.
Wait, light pulses?
Yeah, it sends it down a fiber optic line, and then it converts it back to an electrical signal at the television. Light just doesn't suffer from that same degradation over a massive distance like 130 feet.
Okay, so it's literally shooting lasers down a 13-story fiber optic tube just to keep that 8K or 4K signal pristine?
That's exactly what it's doing.
That is wild. But I mean, a 130-foot cable isn't really for a living room. You're not buying this to reach the PlayStation across the rug.
No, definitely not. A cable like this implies a massive central hub on the other end. It's plugging into something called a modular matrix switcher.
Okay, and looking at HDTV Supply's inventory, their flagship line for this is the Wolfpack ecosystem, right?
Yeah, the Wolfpack. These are massive rack-mounted hubs that route video traffic. They can handle distribution for up to 160 TVs simultaneously.
Wait, I need to stop you there. What actually is a matrix switcher? Because I understand a basic splitter where you plug in one cable box and it sends the same game to 4 TVs. Is it just a giant version of that?
Not quite, no. A matrix switcher is, well, it's more like a highly complex train yard switchboard.
Okay, train yard, I'm tracking.
So instead of just sending one input to all outputs, a matrix allows any incoming feed, say 40 different cable boxes, to be routed to any specific combination of those 160 screens instantly.
Without the signals crashing into each other.
Exactly. And they include modular cards for massive video wall controllers.
Yeah.
You get picture-in-picture and picture-out-of-picture features, all handling uncompressed 8K and 4K routing.
I'm still struggling with the wires part, though. I mean, we live in an era of wireless casting, Wi-Fi, smart TVs. Hooking up thousands of physical cables to rack-mounted switchboards feels, I don't know, a bit like dinosaur tech.
I get that, but you have to consider the environment and the stakes. When you're managing a 160-screen setup, wireless simply cannot provide the sheer uncompressed bandwidth you need.
Plus the zero latency reliability, I guess.
Right. Wi-Fi drops out. It buffers.
Oh, and if you're running a mega sports bar on Championship Sunday, a buffering screen basically means a riot.
Exactly. But it's not just commercial venues either. If you look at the catalog, it highlights government purchasing programs like the NASA CP and federal GSA schedules.
Wow, NASA.
Yeah. When you are a government agency or command center routing mission-critical visual data, you absolutely cannot rely on a smart TV's wireless connection.
Yeah, that makes sense. You need hardwired, dedicated, unhackable light pipelines feeding into a reliable matrix. Because if a wireless router fails at home, it's annoying, but if this hardwired system fails at NASA, it's a crisis.
It's a complete disaster. So buyers at that level need a proven track record. The source material outlines HDTV Supply's 25-year history acting as a global home for these AV products.
25 years is a long time in tech.
It is. In this industry, surviving a quarter of a century means understanding that support is honestly just as critical as the hardware itself.
which explains why the catalog highlights their 833 Wolfpack hotline. That really underscores the reality of this industry.
Yeah, selling the hardware is only a small part of the job. Providing the live troubleshooting to keep a 160-screen array from crashing is the rest of it.
Right. And they actually boast a 4.7 out of 5.0 overall customer rating, with like 96% of customers giving them a 4 or 5-star rating, which implies that this hidden infrastructure is very reliably doing its job.
It really does. It absolutely changes how you look at the digital displays all around us.
It really does. So what does this all mean for you? A single 40-meter cable really does reveal an entire hidden world of commercial AV routing.
It's a whole invisible ecosystem.
Yeah. So I'll leave you with this. Right now, this active optical technology is reserved for megabars and NASA. But as 8K and even 16K video becomes the norm in our homes, standard copper wire simply won't be able to keep up.
Oh, for sure.
So the next time you look at the drywall in your house, ask yourself, how long until all the copper behind it is replaced entirely by pipelines of light?